What's up everyone, it's Tony here, and welcome back to the Yacht Addiction YouTube channel. Or if you're new to the channel, welcome. Today, we're going to be touring this brand new yacht from Ocean Alexander. This is the Ocean Alexander 28 Legend, or 28L for short. Now the Legend series from Ocean Alexander, it's incredibly popular, and this is the newest entry into that line, and this is also the entry-level model. This is the smallest one in the Legend line. Its length overall is 29 meters or 95 feet and 3 inches. You have a beam of 7.05 meters or 23 feet and 1 inch, and you have a draft of 1.83 meters or 6 feet. And these are always really fun to tour these brand new yachts just under 100 feet. I think you get a lot of real estate on board, and it's always interesting to see what the different yacht builders are coming up with. The Ocean Alexander 32L is an extremely popular yacht. That's right over here. And they had many customers that were very interested, but it was just a little bit bigger than what they were looking for. So that's why they introduced the 28L. And also, just for reference, the largest in the series is the 37L, which we do have a tour of on the channel. It was actually from several years ago, so maybe at the next show, we'll revisit that. But for now, let's make our way on board. We have the door into the transom wall, and then we also have the staircases leading up on either side, which brings us up to the aft deck. And as you can see, this is an extremely large area. We have the expandable table with the U-shaped seating that wraps around. So this can be raised and lowered, and then it also expands out. You have the stairs that lead up to the bridge deck. Some storage right here. And then there's also a sink and a catering section right over here. You also have boarding gates on either side. And now we're going to make our way into the main salon, and this is a powered glass door. Thank you. As you may have saw, there is a button for your foot. We have massive windows on either side, so you get tons of natural light. Then we have additional storage over here, and the TV actually folds down from the ceiling. And then forward of this area, normally you might expect to see your dining area, but they actually did something special for that one. It's not located here, it's actually located all the way forward on this deck. So in this section we have a bar. And before we get to the dining room all the way forward, we are going to take a stop in the galley. Down this staircase, this is where we find the guest cabins. There's also a side access door to lead out to the side deck. And this is pretty large for a yacht of this size. Here you can see your freezer and refrigerator. And then we have a combination of Viking and Wolf appliances. Either way, both very high-end brands. And then I'll talk about it now just because I already said the dining room is all the way forward. This is a really cool design. There's actually a partition here, so you can close off this pocket door if you want to close off the two areas, or if you wanted to prep the food right here, you could set it up so you could just pull it into the dining room. Either way, it's a very smart feature. Then if we take a couple of steps up, in addition to being a very large space, we also have these extremely large windows. There's another side deck on the starboard side. Then here you can see what these pocket doors look like. But yeah, I just think this is really smart. Say you're done with dinner, you can put all your plates right here. Then your dishwasher is just on the other side. It all just makes sense. Look at this massive window as well in the galley. Over the past few years, Ocean Alexander has really pushed the boundaries when it comes to what they can accomplish in a confined space. So I'm very impressed with what we're seeing here. And on this yacht, we have 4 guest cabins, or 4 cabins in total, I should say, 1 owner suite, and then 3 guest cabins. Before we head downstairs, this is the day head. And that is technically one thing you're giving up. Instead of having an owner suite on the main deck, you get the dining room instead. I think that's a very fair trade-off, but you'll have to let me know in the comment section down below, which would you prefer? All right, let's head downstairs. I also really like the color palette of all the woods that they chose. It's very light. Right on the landing, behind this door, you have your washer and dryer. And then I think we'll save the owner suite for last. So let's head forward. Through this door is where we have the VIP. So we take a couple of steps up. There's a dressing table over here. Plenty of storage built in. Then the only thing that I think we can knock on this cabin is you don't get much natural light, but it's still very well lit, so at least that's a good alternative. It doesn't feel claustrophobic whatsoever by any means, but just something I noticed. And then you have a really large ensuite. And then they're hidden well, but your closet doors are right here. On each side, we'll find cabins number 3 and 4. This is number 3, and you can see we have the 2 beds pushed together. On the other side, you'll see an example with the 2 beds separated. And we do have storage underneath the beds. And you have really large windows in here. So I think only that forward cabin is where you might be missing out a little bit. And I imagine these 2 en-suites are mirrored, but we'll show you both of them. And these are a really good size. You have the bench as well. And of course, we've saved the best for last. You have the owner's suite back in the midship. This is the full beam of the yacht. The massive king bed right in the middle. You have a settee on the far side, just under your large window, large TV on the wall, closets on each side. We'll just open up one of these. And this is a full-size walk-in closet, plenty of hanging space, and also you get the drawers. And then this was extremely impressive. They were able to fit, actually before we get to the ensuite, you do have a desk on the far side, but they were able to fit a full walk-through ensuite. So you can see the first vanity, and once again, another really large window. It's getting a little dark outside, a little cloudy. The show is about to wrap up for the day, but I think we have time to still finish this tour. And then when I say walk through, it's exactly what I mean. You can walk through to the other side. Look at this rainfall shower head. You also have the regular shower head and the wand. And then just for fun, let's walk all the way through. And you get the matching vanity on the opposite side. Pretty impressed with the cabins overall, and I also really love the backlit stairs. Overall, this has been a very impressive space thus far. All right, now, and before we head upstairs, I wanted to mention you have a large sliding glass door on this side. All right, let's head up to the Sky Lounge. Ooh, it's starting to get really cloudy. I hope it doesn't rain on our parade, literally. If we get wet, it's no big deal. It is what it is. This is another fantastic area. I really like how they have this laid out. And then you also have a bar area here, so you have the sink, a really large refrigerator, and some additional storage. And they also managed to fit another day head on this level right back here. And this is very classic Ocean Alexander. They're pretty consistent with this theme. The bridge is always open to the Sky Lounge. Guys, look at these massive windows. That's one thing I love on these modern yachts. If you're not incorporating extremely large windows at this stage in the game, I'm not sure what you're doing, but they're doing a great job of that, as you can see. In another area where they do a great job, they always have these massive monitors in the bridge. Extremely modern, of course, because it's brand new, but also just the size of these is very impressive. You can see the swim platform where we started. And then, of course, you have your bow and stern thruster, your throttle control, the compass right in the middle. And there's also a remote control attached to the captain's chair. All right, we have another powered glass door, which brings us out to the bridge deck aft. Because the swim platform was a little bit smaller and you don't have a tender garage, this is where you'd house a tender or some jet skis. You can see the crane mounted here. We have another expandable table with the L-shaped seating, and I believe we can customize this to our liking. We also have the built-in grill, and I imagine another refrigerator. So it seems like every single deck you're very well stocked, which is always a good sign. All right, let's head back down to the aft deck where we started. I think we'll go up to the bow next, and then we'll go down to the engine room. This is the door which will grant us access to the crew area, as well as the engines. We'll head down there in just a moment. Here is the side access door to the galley. And another side access door from the dining room. And then up here, this is mostly the business end. You can see there is a skylight right here. So maybe in the VIP cabin, you probably did have access to that window, but it was covered by a ceiling panel. So you do get some natural light. And then here you can see your winches, your anchor chains, the bollards. And I do think we could incorporate some sun pads right here, whether you add them on after the fact, or if in the future Ocean Alexander can install them. We can see on the 32 right next to us, which, like I said, this is a very popular model, you have the sun pads built in. And if you've been enjoying this Ocean Alexander tour, please consider leaving a like on the video. It helps out the channel more than you could ever know, and it's also absolutely free. And also, of course, comment down below. Let me know what you've been thinking so far. All right, now we're gonna go down to the crew area. You have a very nicely finished staircase. And on this yacht, we have space for 3 crew members. You have another refrigerator. Then here we have their area. So the crew mess is around the corner. There's a small sink, a refrigerator, of course, another washer and dryer set. And then here is that door from the transom wall that we saw earlier. And that's why we didn't come in here from this direction. It's much easier just to go on the staircase. But we have a large storage lazarette. And then a little workstation as well, or just a storage area. Then here is the head. I imagine across the hall, this is the first crew cabin, where we have a bunk room. And then cabin number 2 is right here. And this one is the captain's cabin. So technically, it's kind of in between a single and a double. Maybe you could fit a 4th crew member in here if they were sharing. Then you have the drawers underneath for the additional storage. And actually it looks like the captain's cabin does have its own ensuite. So it's nice that the other crew cabin still gets their own space. It's just not connected directly. But whether it's directly connected, I mean, it's 2 feet across the hall. I think that'll work out just fine. And now, the engine room is located through this door. So let's check it out. Ocean Alexander always has extremely well lit and very clean engine rooms. You literally still have the plastic on this walkway. That's how new this yacht is. It even smells pretty fresh in here. So you have an option to have a water maker on board, which is a nice touch. You have generators on each side. And you also have several engine options. This yacht comes with a pair of MTU V10 engines, 1600 horsepower each. And this yacht is so new, they literally don't even have the speed information available yet. We're estimating around 20 to the low 20s for a top speed, cruising in the high teens, and a range we're estimating at a decent cruising speed, 700 nautical miles or over 1200 nautical miles when you're going under 12 knots. But keep in mind, guys, those are Tony estimates. Those aren't official estimates, but just based on similarly sized yachts and also similarly sized Ocean Alexander yachts. I think we're right in the ballpark there. All right. And then also, let's give you another shot of the swim platform. And here you can see that door that leads down to the engine room where we just were. So we'll give you one more look at the main salon. And also, you may have noticed earlier in the video, I did have a helper with me. That was Kristen from Ocean Alexander. So thank you to her for accompanying me, especially on the first half. When we had the door closing, when I was talking about it, that wasn't something I planned ahead of time. She just thought it would look good, and I certainly agree. So thank you, Kristen. Also, I didn't mention before, there's a wine fridge. An absolute necessity, of course. And I think we'll finish the tour in the dining room. So thank you to Ocean Alexander. Thanks again, Kristen. Let me know what you think of this one in the comment section down below. Make sure you subscribe if you're new to the channel. Thanks again for watching, and we will catch you next time.